So GoPro are back at it again, and they've slipped through the cracks with this one, and this is the GoPro HERO, the 2018 version. Now I wanted to do this lavish unboxing experience for you to show off the packaging, because looking at the packaging online it does look pretty nice, but instead GoPro just sent me this, which is pretty much a carry case for the GoPro and a few accessories. So the new GoPro HERO is the newest action cam on the market from the market leading manufacturers, but it has left fans a little disappointed, and I'm not surprised, but at the same time, that's actually quite a good thing. So if I quickly show you what's inside this carry case here, I'm not sure, looking at some of the images I've seen online, if this carry case actually comes with the GoPro HERO. I can't find that anywhere. You can buy this as an added accessory, but I think just through ease of use of GoPro sending us this product to review, they've put everything inside this carry case here. So inside you get the GoPro itself, and it actually comes with this case for the actual GoPro, which is the connection to really most other accessories that you can get for it. As the typical GoPro connection, you can see at the bottom here where it's got the 3 prongs, and then you screw that together to any number of fittings that you get on the bottom. So on here I've got this housing for the actual GoPro. We got a few adhesive pads, which I've already used a couple and I've tried to reclaim them, but once you've taken off the original protection for the sticky pad, then you're not going to get much use out of there if you do start taking it off and resealing it back to any kind of surface. But I got 4 of them in the carry case as well. And the other thing, which was actually a request, which I'll show some footage later of this, is a chest harness that you wear it very, very similar to a backpack, and then you connect the 2 pieces here at the front, like so. And then there you go. Then that basically hangs off of your shoulders, and you wear that as kind of like a chest harness. Now everything here with the GoPro HERO 2018 is the same as the GoPro HERO 6 Black, which was released, I believe, last year, maybe the year before, I can't remember. And it's also the same as the HERO 5 Black as well. Nothing has changed for those last 2 models. It has the same touchscreen on the back of the actual unit. It has the same small screen on the front, which gives you minimal information when you're actually using it. Things like how much space you've got left on the memory card, how many pictures a time-lapse has taken as well. You've got the recording button that's on top, and you've got a function button which is on the right-hand side, which switches between the modes: video, photo, video time-lapse, photo time-lapse. You can just access with that here. You can use a number of gestures on the back, swiping the screen to get to various different menu settings, but we'll talk more about that later. Now there's even the same rubber housing on here as the HERO 6 Black and the HERO 5, which allows you to go up to 33 meters underwater before you start running into trouble. So if you're taking this to a swimming pool or a holiday to the beach, then you're not going to worry about breaking this too much. And being rubber, it's got a little bit of bounce to it, so you could technically get away with dropping it, but I wouldn't, because the lens, you don't want to crack this area here, of course, and then you don't want to damage the screen as well. But there is a bit of a bounce. Most of the time you're probably going to be housing it inside this case anyway, which again offers another layer of sort of plastic protection on there, and it still has access to all of the buttons on the side as well. So the connections on here are exactly the same. Now on the side you've got a USB Type-C port, and you've also got a HDMI port, so you can plug this directly into a TV or monitor, so you can then preview what you've actually filmed on here, or you can use that as a monitor to show what you're actually filming. And then on the bottom here you've got the battery and a memory card slot. So there are, however, some pretty big internal changes to this compared to the HERO 6 Black, and that comes with recording quality. Now the HERO 6 Black can record at 4K, where this one is stuck at 1080p. Now there is a 1440p option which you can set this camera to, but it forces the aspect ratio into a 4:3, which is more square than widescreen, and I find that a little bit counterproductive. I think most people will probably stick to the 1080p setting, because you get that widescreen feel. And then it also opens you up to use the wide angle lens on there as well, to go to wide, super wide, if you so desire. Now there are also 2 frame rates that you can decide to film at. There is 30 frames per second if you want more of a cinema type look, that cinematographic look to your actual footage. But there's also 60 frames per second as well if you want to, in post-production, slow that down to 24 frames to get some relatively smooth slow motion out of the camera. It's not the best, and it's not like filming at 120 frames and slowing it down to 60 frames a second. but you have got that option there if you so desire. 60 frames per second will give you a much smoother video, especially if you're panning and throwing the camera around. It will give you a little bit of a smoother experience than 30 frames per second ever could. I think in terms of the resolution that GoPro hasn't included 4K, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think because this camera is aimed at kind of action cam beginners or even casual users, it seems like it's very much a pick up and go, point and shoot type device. And the added bonus of only being able to shoot in 1080p anyway is the fact that you could store a lot more footage on your memory card. So you're never having to carry around a couple of memory cards. I've used this for an entire day at a skate park, and I never ever reached for another memory card because I was finding that this was getting filled up. So that is really an added bonus that you are locked into 1080p. And if you're putting this kind of footage onto social media like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, then it's going to be so heavily compressed anyway that even if you are filming at 4K, yes, it might look slightly better on social media, but you're not going to notice a huge difference. If I was previewing it on a mobile phone, it was very, very hard to tell the difference between what was shot on here and what was shot on a Hero 6 Black. Now, unfortunately, I've got no side-by-side comparisons of this and the Hero 6 Black. I've just got some footage that I've taken with this, but you can search that on YouTube anywhere else. But the nice thing about the Hero 2018 is the fact that GoPro has decided to retain the image stabilization feature, which you could find on a Hero 6 Black, a Hero 5, and even the Hero 5 Sessions. I think they had image stabilization on there as well, which means that if you are hand holding this camera, which I did, I don't have a gimbal for this. This was just sent to me as a review item. I've got no action cam gimbal. And as I was hand holding this for most of the time, actually, I could still get pretty smooth motion, even when I was running through a skate park following one of my friends while they were skating. I could still get some pretty smooth motion. And we even actually attached this to one of my friend's skateboards, and I actually found that that footage came out really quite smooth compared to if I would have stuck my SLR, for example, that I'm recording on now. If I would have stuck that to the skateboard, you would be able to tell every single bump and crack in the tarmac or the concrete that he went over quite easily, I think. But this really did do a really good job of keeping that image nice and smooth. As I said, even hand holding this, it was still, yeah, I found no complaints with that. So another feature that may make it hard for creators to decide to invest in something like this is the fact that it's missing its ProTune feature. Now, ProTune was GoPro's way of being able to shoot a very flat, almost S-Log or V-Log or log type footage, very flat imagery, so you could get as much detail in the highlights and the shadows as possible. Basically what log footage is, it gives you the ability to color correct it later on in post-production. You haven't got this here. You can color correct it to some degree, but there's no kind of neutral picture profiles on here. There's not really any picture profiles at all to choose from. Not that I've seen anyway, so that seems a little bit odd on the fact that there's not that kind of feature in here. Where GoPro has imported their menu system from the GoPro Hero 6 Black onto this one, if you're a GoPro user, you will find that there are a lot of settings missing. And I was also finding that following menu trails would only lead me to one setting within a particular menu. So I would have liked to have seen GoPro maybe redesign the menu. If they weren't going to be including that many features on this camera, I would have liked to have seen GoPro really tweak the menu system so you're not still going through countless menus to get to one setting. All the menu systems that you may recognize, the interface is exactly the same. So on here you've got your picture quality, the resolution that you can change, your frames per second, and your field of view as well, which most of the time I've stuck it on medium, but I know people do like wide, especially if they're doing sports, like extreme sports, that kind of thing. You have got the option there. One feature I really did enjoy, and I'm glad that they've retained it on here, is Quick Stories. Now what Quick Stories is the ability for GoPro to smartly attach various different clips together so you can then quickly share them with social media profiles. So if you've gone to the beach for the day, for example, and you've taken 5 different clips with your GoPro, the Quick Stories will stitch those together, including photos and time lapses as well, stitch those together and then be able to instantly share them to social media. Now a feature on there is also called highlights. So if throughout one of the videos that you've taken, I don't know, someone falls in the sea and it's a highlight to your day, you can mark on there that it's been a highlight video, and GoPro, the Quick Stories software, will prioritize the highlighted clips over those that haven't been highlighted for the videos. So you can have a reel of various different highlights throughout your day that you've selected on the camera or on the mobile phone app, and you can really create a nice story very quickly, and able to share that to social media. So as I've said a few times throughout this review, this camera is really aimed at beginners and even casual users to action cams. Now, the fact that it has image stabilization means that you don't have to invest in other equipment like an expensive gimbal that'll set you £200 maybe for a gimbal. You can easily put it on a selfie stick, which is a few pound from your local market, and then you can still get some pretty smooth footage from that. Now, I also think that there's nothing fancy or there's nothing to get lost in, or if you change a setting, it's very easy to change it back. It's just a quick pick up, point and shoot action cam that you can just get a clip shared to the world very, very quickly via the Quick Stories app. I think I enjoyed my time with the GoPro Hero a lot more than I thought I would. I thought the actual offering here is very, very good for beginner users. If you're an experienced GoPro user, or you're coming from a Hero 6 Black, then you're probably going to be left a little bit disappointed, because the products that you have and you've used in the past have been a lot more superior to this. But if you've been toying with the idea of getting an action camera for some time and you didn't know which way to go, one of these, just dive right in with a GoPro Hero. You can pick up and shoot straight away, and it doesn't cost the earth. At £200, you can't complain at that price, considering a Hero 6 Black will probably set you back double that. Thank you very much for checking out our video review of the GoPro Hero 2018 edition. If you enjoyed the review, then do click that like button. Please do subscribe to keep up with all of our latest tech and gaming videos, and also let us know in the comments what you thought about the Hero 2018 and whether it's something you would invest in, or whether you've got a GoPro already like a Hero 4, 5 or 6 Black, and whether you would consider upgrading to one of these. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. And for any of you wanting to get into action cams as well, let us know if this is something you would invest in. I'll leave our link in the description to our Amazon affiliate link. If you do use that to purchase one, it would help us out a lot. As I say, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.